and gentlemen, it's time for the one and only wrestling podcast in the world, the Shoot Brother Podcast. That's the one hosted by myself, Mike the Shoot Shepherd, Cameron Thunder Osborne.
Bang, bang.
That's right. We're here. Big week of wrestling. I mean, the world, it's Christmas time. We're supposed to be all getting together and, loving each other. But it's also a time for war amongst, it's a game. It's just a game. War games. Mm-hmm. So that's the big point of this week's episode here. We got some great matches and the double rings, double cages, double the fun, really.
Double the fun. Well, you said it right there. My name's Cameron Osborne. That's who I am. Anytime there's a week of pay-per-view, that's all we can really focus on, especially because we have day one still weeks away. It feels like this event that's coming up, brand new pay-per-view, by the way. New name, new date, new brand. God, it feels like anything could happen. It truly feels like anything could happen leading up towards the end of the year. Winter is coming.
Yeah.
And it really feels like it's just an exciting time to be a professional wrestling fan. So let's just get into the podcast then. Shall we? Let's kick off. Yes. We normally kick off the week with a tweet of the champion. However, sometimes when the tweet is pertinent to certain elements of the week, we will hold off. So you will be getting a little Tweety League Champion a little bit later. But let's get right into the main event itself. Because like you said, 2 times the rings, 2 times the fun, baby. Because this week NXT brought us War Games.
Review. Right. Just NXT and just War Games. There's no 2.0. There's no takeover.
Yeah, and it's just NXT War Games. And so, is this 2.0's first pay-per-view, correct?
Yeah. Since they had those TV specials, the Halloween Havoc, but this is the first standalone, commercial-free 3-hour event.
Yeah. The first kind of Peacock Network exclusive.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're gonna do one, War Games kind of has become the flagship. I mean, that's their WrestleMania almost.
And that's what it is, because this previous style of NXT when they were touring, and even before they were touring, when they were just at that Full Sail University, in the time that we saw them, they were able to tack on to the major pay-per-views. They had one for SummerSlam, Mania. Kind of like the ring is already in place, so let's just do it for 2 nights. But I don't necessarily know if the current new product could pull that same kind of vibe,
Yeah, but War Games, it's NXT's baby.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. There's no more Takeover Brooklyn's, Takeover New Orleans, whatever. But there's always going to be War Games.
And what better way to kick off the actual War Game pay-per-view than with a War Games match itself? This year, I don't know who we kicked off with last year, but this year we're kicking off with the women's War Game match. So, of course, the teams, I guess, Team Toxic Attraction plus Dakota Kai. So it's Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, Dakota Kai. And the other team they're taking on, I guess, is Team Babyface. Of course, the team is Raquel Gonzalez, Cora Jade, Io Shirai, and Kaylee Ray, all the way over from NXT UK. Between her and Cora Jade, and I guess, there's a lot of names, at least in this card. I guess there's only 2 women.
I think all of Toxic Attraction.
Raquel Gonzalez and Io Shirai had some big spots in last year's War Games. I think winning 2 shooties, I believe, but 4 different
separate moments in the same
match, which is incredible. Like when somebody has 2 movies up for Best Director.
Yeah, quite the accomplishment.
Truly is.
But yeah, let's just jump into this thing. Dakota Kai, Kaylee Ray, they start things off, and they came prepared. Kaylee's got her green baseball bat, and Dakota's got a bunch of kendo sticks, and they got 5 minutes to just beat each other around, and Dakota starts setting up the kendo sticks between the 2 bottom ropes of the rings, and she gets slammed onto that. A couple of them fell, but whatever.
Yeah, it happens. You can't. Every time you set it up, it's not going to work.
Yeah, that's okay. So the clock counts down, and then Cora Jade comes out. At 20 years old, the youngest wrestler in the whole company, and she was on a mission tonight. she was going to make a name for herself.
She was ready. She was ready to move as soon as and this new little stage set up, instead of having the cages at the top of the ramp, they were separated on the side that the kind of the camera sees.
Yeah, they were like in the crowd, so everyone got like the shield entrance when they were coming.
Everyone had a big shield entrance. Big shield entrance.
Yeah, so Cora Jade, she's got her skateboard. She's swinging it around, 2-on-1 for a little bit. Crowd's hot. They're loving this. They start chanting, "We want Gigi." So Gigi Dolan wasn't even in the match. She's already over, and they give her what they want. She's the next person out of the cage, and she was looking to make a name for herself as well, and crowd was chanting for her. I thought this was great moment for her.
A lot of people apparently want to see her. I guess.
Yeah. So more weapons, garbage cans, duffel bag full of mystery items. Io Shirai comes out next, and I think we all know her track record in War Games. She's kind of the human highlight reel for herself. So she stops at the ring to grab a bunch of chairs, garbage cans. We know she loves those. And clock runs down. JC Jane, she's out next. She pulls out the long-awaited table. Crowd's been waiting for that. And they're just loving every minute of this match. Dueling chants. Let's go Toxic. Toxic sucks. So it's good to see everyone. Everyone here is just over. And, Io Shirai, she starts doing some shit with the trash can lid. She's doing like handstands on the top rope into a drop kick right in Dakota's face. And then the three baby faces, they set up the table. They put JC Jane on top of it. Io and Kaylee, they're like doing rock, paper, scissors to decide who's going to jump. But then Cora Jade just brushes past them, climbs to the top of the cage, and then she hits this huge swanton bomb, almost undershoots it, but that made it look even better. Just a crazy bump for her.
Yeah, this was her big moment.
Yeah, just off the top of the cage, through the table. Landing looked a little scary, but I think it worked because she starts just selling the shoulder the rest of the match. Fighting with one arm, so...
And well, the shoulder sell becomes the moment of it. And you're right, there was that moment. They didn't cut back to the replay right away, which is how you know that... What's the guy's name? Dunn? Kevin Dunn?
Yeah,
he would have known if it was actually bad. He didn't need that time to review it. But that little 10-15 seconds we got before we got to replay it, we're like, uh-oh. What if she actually what if something actually popped out of place?
Yeah, because she hit it, but it was a landing that was a little bit off, but looked awesome. She's selling the shoulder. Crowd's chanting for Cora. She kind of crawls over to the corner, and the doctors are talking to her, but then Dr. Shirai is like, no, I got this. So at this point, I'm like, okay, it's a work. Because there was a part of me that thought maybe she
okay, so this was where it happened, though. This was where you were...
Yeah, because then Io grabs her arm and just puts her foot and, yanks it back into place.
Yeah, she just kind of pops it.
Yeah, just boom! And then it's back. So, then Raquel, she's up next. She gets out of her cage, gets a fire extinguisher, sprays some people with it. Then she picks up Dakota and just stuffs her in a garbage can like a playground bully. And he's just swinging her around inside this can, just tosses her like nothing. That was great.
Yeah. There were a lot of good spots in here, some of which felt poorly planned, so it leads to kind of that awkward moment where somebody's setting something up or waiting for something to happen. Because at one point, after this Cora Jade spot, Cora Jade is out for 97% of the rest of the match after this. So we really get that 4-on-3 breakdown or beat down. Raquel Gonzalez carrying a lot of the work here too.
Yeah, kind of the vet on her team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess her and
Io. Yeah, she got the big pin last year.
Yeah. But speaking of last year, that was your spot of the year. I think was when Dakota crumpled the trash can under Io. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Io got a bit of revenge this year. She Dakota was still in the can. Io does a big moonsault, crushes that on top of her. So a little bit of
a little callback.
Yeah, a little callback. But then we get the final member, Mandy Rose. She finally comes out. Big brawl begins. There's just weapons and bodies everywhere. Raquel eats a couple nasty, just like chairs right to the face, drop kicked. And then at one point, Toxic Attraction, they all surround Cora, and she's got a kendo stick and only one arm, but she's just swinging around, wailing everyone. But then they get a hold of her, all three of them, and Mandy hits her with the C-trigger, but Cora kicks out of that. So then Raquel jumps in. She hits JC with the Chingola bomb, but then Gigi jumps in, hits her with a big boot. So everyone falls down, and then Cora just crawls over to the downed JC Jane, makes the cover, gets the 3 count. So the biggest night of her life, Cora Jade.
Yeah, that was the most surprising part for the whole thing for me.
Yeah, I mean she already had the big dive, and they gave her the big pin as well. So, I mean, this 20-year-old star in the making, they know they've got nothing but time with the.
Oh, nothing but time with somebody of that age. Yeah. I guess it was a pretty fun match. Of course, matches like these have high expectations, say the least. But the Cora Jade spot and booking of that, the way that story kind of played out, that was great.
Yeah, no, I thought Cora Jade came out of this match looking way better than she did going in.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and Gigi Dolan as well. I thought, the crowd was really responsive to her, and I like it.
Yeah, she was over with the crowd, so got to be something.
Yeah. Either way, these women worked hard. Like you said, a couple, maybe mistimed moments here and there, but they busted their ass, and the crowd loved it. Mm-hmm. Fun opener.
That's all you need sometimes.
Mm-hmm. But of course, they're gonna sandwich the show with the War Games. We're not going back to back, so. Let's just jump into the NXT tag titles, the men's titles. If the women's even exist, I don't know. But we got Imperium.
Who are the
the women's champs? I forget.
Oh yeah, no, it is Toxic Attraction. It is the,
that's why. But Imperium are defending their titles against Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner. This was a complete different style to the first match. A lot more grappling and holds, and although one strange thing, they put Kyle and Wagner in the heel corner right off the bat. Maybe that was a foreshadow of things to come.
Okay. No, I didn't notice that. No. You always notice that. I never noticed that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The crowd was cheering for them anyways, so Wagner looking pretty good. The two of them, they hit their high-low, but they only get a 2 count. So Imperium just... they're more seasoned. They've been together a while. So eventually, Kyle, he gets Eichner in a triangle choke, but Eichner is able to just lift him up off the mat as Bartel tags in. They hit the Imperial Bomb, get the win, retain the belts.
Retain? Hey, way to go, guys. Way to go, Imperium. Where's Walter?
Yeah. Well, there's lots of hot rumors going around about contracts and when they're going to end, and this crowd thought maybe this might be the end of Kyle O'Reilly. There was a little bit of a thank you, Kyle chant.
Mm-hmm. It started happening.
Yeah, and as that's going on, Von Wagner starts sizing him up from behind. He takes a swing, but luckily Kyle ducks and knocks Wagner down instead. He's just like, "You think I'm stupid?" And then he throws up the Undisputed Era sign, does the suck it chop, and walks.
Yeah, he did a couple suckets, which I was like, oh, baby, okay, we can't show that on NXT 2.0.
But there you go. He'll be on NXT this week, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll get an answer from that on NXT. But yeah, Wagner, he's still new, needs that time to grow. I think there was a couple times in this match where as soon as he got there, you could feel the crowd losing a bit of interest.
Well,
yeah.
I guess this heel turn will probably be better for him. He can. I guess easier to get booed than get cheered.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So yeah, well, let's move along because we got some hair on the line. The hair versus hair match. Cameron Grimes with a lot more to lose than Duke Hudson. But, they made use of that second ring. They had the barber chair set up the whole time, so it's just ready to go.
Yeah, because that's always the weird part of the War Games match is how, why don't people just that second ring never gets used at all.
Yeah,
in the other matches, But yeah, the barber's chair, so we can see it's clearly on the line. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen in front of us right here tonight.
Yeah, so I think everyone here, we're all rooting for Grimy, and the match was fine. Nothing too crazy, but didn't really need it. The hair's the big draw, so they just kind of go back and forth. Hudson picks up Grimes for a Razor's Edge, but Grimes counters it, tosses him into the turnbuckle, and then rolls him up for the 3. So Grimy, he's won the match. Hudson tries to run off, but Grimes gets a hold of him, puts him in the chair, picks up the razor, and then just shaves off a couple big chunks of hair. Leaves it half done.
Yeah, as if it was almost like Hudson was passed out, and then he wakes up to his hair being... strange build... of course, to a goofy stipulation is always a little bizarre, but hey, we know how good Grimy is.
Oh yeah, I mean Grimes is great, crowd loves him, but this feud hasn't been as good as the $1 Million feud.
It really wasn't, yeah. Especially you have to wonder when does an NXT show become about putting over the young guys? Because we're kind of dipping our toes in the water. So far, between Imperium, are they a part of 2.0 or are they part of a future's past?
Well, same for Cameron Grimes. I wonder.
Another guy, and of course, a few. We have our men's War Games match coming up later. You gotta wonder.
Yeah, it's all up in the air. Mm-hmm. But let's go to this cruiserweight title match. Well, the weight limit has been waived, though, so Joe Gacy, he's able to challenge against Roddy Strong for the belt. But, this was definitely the weakest match on the show for me. Nothing really special at all, but I don't know. I guess the one moment, Harland, the Giant, he picks up Ivy Nile at one point, so... he did something. Yeah,
that big bald tattooed Brock Lesnar looking guy.
The prison break.
The guy who is supposed to look like he's in prison or something like that.
Anyways, doesn't matter. Roddy hits the knee lift and then his little lung blower finisher to get the win, retain his title.
Yeah, the crowd was in and out on this one. Weird stiff, weird build. Who's Joe Gacy?
Yeah, just nothing. And Roddy Strong, I mean, if Kyle's gone, he's the last member hanging around. So I don't know. How long's his contract going?
Yeah, you got to wonder. You got to wonder the financial security. Like what type of, the money that's being thrown around,
Well, in WWE, there is no security.
Exactly. That's the thing, right?
Yeah. But let's go to the main event. The men's War Games match, Team Black and Gold taking on Team 2.0. So Black and Gold, you got Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, LA Knight, and then the new guys, we got Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Grayson Waller, and Tony D'Angelo. And one nice moment, Johnny Gargano, he came out to his classic Rebel Heart theme song, perhaps for the last time ever. And the crowd knew it, so they were just showing lots of love to Johnny. They were loving everything about it.
Well, I immediately noticed the new ring attire. It had, if you were to notice this, it was kind of a combination of all of his previous takeover classics. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah. It said Johnny Takeover in the special. Yeah, it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And he came to work. This is his first ever War Games match. Can you believe?
Really?
Johnny Gargano. Yeah,
I guess so. Well, I guess it's always the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, but I would have thought maybe he'd be on the other side of one of those. But
yeah, he could have been.
Doesn't matter. He's starting this thing off. He wants to get all he can out of it. And so him and Carmelo Hayes start off just some nice athletic wrestling going around. At one point, Johnny hits a sunset bomb off the side of the cage. Grayson Waller, he's the first man released. He comes out They're just beating Johnny down 2-on-1. They got Trick Williams outside the cage. At one point, he just tosses a chair over the wall, nearly hits.
That was so that was so fucking close. Someone's gonna get a talk. Someone's getting a talking to backstage. You know that for sure.
Yeah, that was like
Jesus,
a centimeter away.
That was so close to being devastating.
Yeah, but luckily it did not happen, and they just used it to beat up Gargano, and he starts bleeding at one point from the face. I think he took a stiff elbow or something.
Something happened there.
But he gets some help when Pete Dunne, he's the next man out, so him and Johnny just start laying a beat down. Until the clock runs down once again. Tony D'Angelo comes out. He brings a couple tables into the ring with him, and Trick Williams still out there helping. He's pulling stuff from under the ring. He pulls out Dexter Lumis. So I guess he's finally back after...
poor Indy.
That long.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Finally, she can have a match and not just think about.
I hope so. Then D'Angelo pulls out a chain. He locks the door shut, and LA Knight comes out. He can't get in. It's locked, so he says, fuck it. Climbs over the wall and just starts going crazy inside the cage. And then Braun Breaker, he's out next, and these refs are still struggling with the chain on the door, so he just says, let me do it. He grabs the bolt cutters.
The refs are struggling with the chain. You know, they're trying to cut it with the big bolt cutters, and Braun Breaker's like, give it to me. And he's struggling just as much as the refs are.
It took him a couple tries.
They had to they panned the camera away to like fade off to like other action so they could get it, and then came back to him after. It was so close.
Yeah.
It was so close.
It was one time they had a cage match where Mark Henry was supposed to come down and rip the chain link off, but they bought like a real chain. It wasn't gimmicked at all, so it took him like 5 minutes, but he actually ripped it apart.
Really? Wow.
With his bare hands, one of those thick like motorcycle chains.
Jesus Christ.
He just went boom, ripped it. But anyway, so the cage is back open. Braun Breaker, he's in there. The crowd's woofing. They're having fun.
They were woofing.
Lots of woofs. They're chanting 2.0, black and gold, back and forth. So, yeah, just getting hot. Finally, Tommaso Ciampa, he's the last one out, so match can officially begin. But, I mean, they've already been going at it for like 20 minutes, so. I don't know how do you count the timing on a match of a War Games? Do you start from the very beginning?
Pro Fight DB and like Wikipedia counts it from the initial bell until the final bell. But the whole point is that it doesn't start. But then all War Games would be like 12 minutes long, and everyone would be like, "What the hell?" Probably because the interval is always inconsistent, right? Or, I mean, this fight, it did feel super consistent. But, there have been times in the past, where, like, with Royal Rumbles, things like that.
They take some liberties with the time.
I don't mind, baby. I don't mind.
No, that's the way it goes. So, yeah, everyone's out here. Bodies, weapons, all over the place, just like every War Games match. And we got some nice reunion spots. Ciampa Gargano doing a bunch of DIY moves, getting DIY chants. And Grayson Waller, he gets tossed off the top rope through a table. Ciampa and Breaker going at it. Ciampa hits a big air raid crash off the top rope onto a garbage can. Then LA Knight, he gets laid out on a table so Waller can do his big spot where he climbs to the top of the cage and hits the big diving Vince Carter elbow drop through the table, through LA Knight.
Yeah, I was hoping that would have been a better, because they brought it up to the camera up top. This is the big spot. This is the big spot.
Yeah.
No. I was hoping for I'm not saying everyone has to be Ricochet, but the kids these days can do some shit.
No, I think Cora Jade had the better spot.
At least hers was backwards.
She did a flip.
At least she did a flip.
Do a flip for me, please.
See, and that's what's because even like the frog splash, that's what's cool is that they kind of like they go in then out. Like there's sort of like that movement of, or like you jump out, then you tuck in and then come back out, and that's the athleticism. Just kind of doing a big Hogan from the top fucking rope. You can Hogan through two tables. It's still a fucking leg drop.
And he's not putting a real basketball through his legs, so it's not even...
Yeah, we know you're not athletic,
anyone can do a fake dunk. I can do the best dunks in the world.
Well, if you put the camera down... If you put the camera down low, So you have a little trampoline down there. No one can see it. You can dunk whatever you want, baby.
Yeah. So anyways, he's out of the match now, pretty much. Tony and Pete Dunne, they climb to the top rope. Tony pulls out a crowbar. He starts choking Dunne with that and hits a big swinging neck breaker off the top. So once again, everyone's just laid out. DIY start going on a roll. Ciampa looks to hit the fairy tale ending, but then Breaker comes flying in with a spear, crushes him through a table in the corner, and then he picks Ciampa back up, holds him above his head for the press power slam, and that gets him the big pin. He is pinned, Tommaso Ciampa, and won the War Games.
The NXT champion. Pinned the champ.
Yeah. Braun Breaker. Huge moment, big win. But I think we all kind of expected it, but still. It was, he's got that superstar quality.
Yeah, he does. He does. And even like outside of just outside of, him being the guy who's being pushed right now. He's a big guy. He's a big guy. Does big guy shit.
Yeah, and he's like crisp, he's not like hesitating and waiting to hit his spots. He just seems like he's in the moment,
And actually, his only thing in the loss column right now is that Halloween Havoc match that he just couldn't quite get. So he's still looking on fucking fire. Between we got the big pin in this match. He won the ladder match to qualify for the to have the better odds or whatever.
Yeah. And, and that one loss, I think it helped a lot to make the crowd go like, okay, they're not just going to push you right away, and you showed that you can go. So
yeah,
we're on your side now.
Yeah, it's like not quite the Goldberg thing, because he's actually like doing matches and losing occasionally. He lost that one time, so you're like, okay, you're not Goldberg. That's cool with us. So yeah, I don't know. It only seems to be a matter of time. So there was like 1,000 vignettes during this whole fucking thing.
It was
something
weird.
About it. It was literally every single person not on the card got a vignette, and I skipped through
even people that had nothing, like guys like Ikemen and Jiro that we barely.
I skipped through like 2/3 of these things. I couldn't quite handle it, but I think the one big takeaway I got from all of them was that they're doing New Year's Evil again.
But it won't be on day one, right?
What do you mean?
I'm sure it'll just be on a Tuesday.
Oh yeah, it's just, sorry. Yeah, it's
1st.
Just on a Tuesday. It's just on a normal Tuesday, similar to the
January
Havoc.
3rd or something.
Yeah, something like that. So they are doing the Evil again. So we do have kind of like a next goal of shit to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Eventually, Breaker's going to grab that
Eventually,
title.
Right? You would think the face of NXT 2.0 wouldn't have a big gray beard.
Yeah. We'll see. We have no idea when their next pay-per-view is going to be.
Yeah.
If they'll,
Well, yeah, but that's the thing, right? Things like the New Year's Evil is kind of like that interim thing, right? It's halfway there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was great.
Yeah, overall, I was happy with the show. We've seen some better War Games matches, but they're always very fun.
Yeah, and
it hasn't been.
Yeah, it's always different, so that's fun. Different equals fun.
You only get 2 a year. It's not like a ladder match where it can show up anytime. So, yeah, that was War Games.
That was War Games. Another great pay-per-view, and great job for all those NXT youngins down there. All those young kids. I think Braun Breaker's like 23 or something.
Pretty good. Cora Jade, 20 years old. They say it every time.
They let us know every single time. Who does commentary down there?
Vic Joseph.
Vic Joseph. I was going to say Zach something. That was War Games. Let's move across the brands and into our week, because we keep talking about day one, which means that it is coming, baby. So let's move ourselves over to some SmackDown Live. Okay, folks, it's Friday night. It's time for Smackdown Live. It used to be on Tuesday, but then I think it was on Friday before, though. No, wait, they used to film it on a Thursday and then release it. It's just Smackdown Live.
Smackdown Live.
Where, of course, remember last week, Sami Zayn won a battle royal by sneakily kind of coming back at the last second. we know that he's got an opportunity to take on Roman Reigns
for the Universal title.
For the Universal title.
And all of us Sami Zayn fans around the world are just nervously awaiting if this match is even going to happen, because Brock Lesnar comes out to start the show, and his suspension, it's been lifted, and he wants that Universal title. But then Sami Zayn comes out to interrupt him. Like we said, he's the rightful number one contender. But he shows some respect. He's sucking up to Brock. He's like, yeah, don't worry, you and me, day one. But Brock's just like, shut up. I don't even know who the hell you are. So eventually Brock's just like, hey, why don't you fight Roman for the title tonight instead of at day one? And, he just kind of intimidates Sami into agreeing to it, right?
Kinda. Brock Lesnar was doing great right here this whole night. He has this fucking plaid cut-off shirt, like sleeves cut off, flannel.
Yeah.
He's got the mic, got a big smile on his face. He's so over in this way now. I think the fans wanted, after the years of what felt like Brock Lesnar just sort of holding the title captive, it's fun to see babyface Brock.
Yeah, we're ready to cheer him, and he's ready to cut loose. And he was like putting his arms on Sami. He's like, I can see it now, kid.
He has this one video. He's like, I see it now. Sami, what's your name? Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn. And setting up our main event, which is a great job.
Yeah. So that'll happen tonight. But in the meantime, Sasha Banks, she takes on Shayna Baszler, and the match was mostly good from these two. Shayna goes for a gut-wrench powerbomb. Sasha reverses it. Pins her for the 3.
Wait, wasn't this a replay from last week?
Could have been.
Could it have been? I remember these two kind of having a time. They had time to do this. Maybe not. I could be crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it won't be the last time we see them together either.
Yes. But right now, Sasha Banks in this kind of like holding pattern, right? We're sort of in the same space where my thought, where's Shotzi?
Yeah.
I thought we had unfinished business between Shotzi and Sasha. Then we kind of turned Shotzi Blackheart baby or heel last time I checked.
Yeah. No, I'm down to have some more of those too. And then unfortunately there was some happy talk with Corbin and Madcap. Mm-hmm. But my favorite moment was just Pat McAfee asking how this show hasn't been canceled yet. Just spending the whole thing making fun of Corbin's leg tattoos, who I never seen before. He's
always wearing pants.
Leg tattoos. Yeah. Just bad jokes. Drew McIntyre comes out. Jeff Hardy come out. They beat up the bad guys. But then did you see this stuff that was going on with Jeff Hardy this past weekend? Some weird stuff?
No, what was happening with Jeff Hardy? He was in this segment.
Yeah, so must have been after that. Like, I don't know, had a live event. There was just fan footage of he was in the ring, and I don't know. It's all speculation. We know he's had some issues, but like he was just kind of not doing anything, just selling, and then he tags out and just runs through the crowd, and the security guy goes after him, and apparently he got sent home, and no one knows the real story.
Really?
It was just kind of weird so hopefully it's not anything.
Maybe he got injured, you think, or think he was drunk and high on the devil's
I mean, there's basically like two or three things.
Okay.
Either he was hurt, either he was sick, or either he had a little bit of a relapse. I don't know. Those are basically the speculations. But the word was he was sent home after that. So
wow.
I don't know. But
it's too bad.
Let's move on to the Viking Raiders taking on Los Lotharios. And Lotharios, they're in control. Rick Boogs, your buddy. What's his name again?
Eric Bugenhagen.
He starts playing the guitar, causing a distraction, but it backfires. Angel rolls up Eric and gets the win anyways. So Viking Raiders.
Can't forget Bugenhagen. Cannot forget Bugenhagen. Yeah, not much to this match at all.
No. or the division at the moment.
Yeah, well, I guess our SmackDown champs are the Usos, right?
Yeah.
See, and this, but doesn't this always happen? Like the titles or multiple titles get tied in together, and then one of them always falls behind, right? Like this has happened before with the SmackDown Women's Championship. No, sorry, I was thinking the tag champions. Yeah. Anytime those tag belts are always just like also on the champion somehow.
Yeah, they love to do that. But then we get King Woods taking on Jey Uso, and everything was going okay until Jimmy interferes and causes a DQ. So nothing really to it.
Yeah. This episode of SmackDown had a lot of what I could only call like rapid fire segments. It felt like a lot of boom, get out there. Okay, boom, get out there. Okay, boom.
Yeah, so let's just keep going.
Yeah, let's keep
Charlotte,
going. Next one, Charlotte, get out there. Tony Storm, get out there.
And that's pretty much it. Charlotte's like, haha, I got you in the face with a pie twice. So Tony Storm's like, yeah, well, how about you fight me in the ring? And Charlotte's like, no. And then she walks off, but as she's leaving, Tony's waiting with a pie, gets her right in the face. Sweet revenge. Only one pie, though.
Pie to the face. Classic.
Yeah, I mean,
but
for Vince McMahon, that's still like the prime humor.
Oh yeah, that's the funniest thing in the world is
something from the 40s.
Someone getting pied in the face and then falling over.
He's probably just like backstage watching the Three Stooges, losing his mind.
That's how when he's getting ready to write an episode of Raw, doing that thing, where he tries to poke him in the eye, then he holds
like 24/7 guys, get in here, watch this.
Watch this.
Yeah. Main event, Sheamus. Oh wait, no, this wasn't the main event. Sheamus fought Cesaro. Lots of history of these guys. Former 5-time tag champs together. The Bar. I mean, they might as well get back together. But anyways, hard hitting. They go back and forth. Eventually, Sheamus hits a brogue kick, gets the win.
Yeah, this was a weird one. Yeah, it felt like a lot of just fucking get out there and go.
Yeah, Cesaro's another one of those. I don't know his contract, but might as well escape. Cesaro.
Oh yeah, well, Cesaro is one of the most underutilized talents on the planet.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure there's a lot of companies out there who would love a guy like Cesaro to hop in the ring with.
Sami Zayn comes out, starts talking about this is the biggest match of my career, and I've got nobody to thank except for Brock Lesnar. And Lesnar comes out, he gets in the ring with Sami, and he's like, hey man, you'd rather face me? Or Sami tells Brock, he's like, you'd rather face me than Roman's, right? Your track record against Reigns lately isn't the greatest. And that sets off Brock. He just beats Sami all around, bunch of suplexes, bunch of F5s. And then Roman Reigns comes out. They ring the bell, so the match is official. Universal title match. Roman takes on Sami. He hits him with a spear, locks in the guillotine. Sami taps out. Just like that, it's over.
Just like that.
Yeah. The dream is over.
Which I guess means, that the head of the table is heading to day one for a date with Brock Lesnar. I guess that's what it means. But really, yeah, the show ended the way it started, right? Which is the Beast smiling as his large, ominous self made his way to the ring. And, for Sami. Kudos to Sami. Sami Zayn knew exactly what the role was, and he was executing it perfectly. He's a threat to steal the show every night. We know this.
We've been saying it all show. Contract watch, Sami Zayn.
Contract. I think right before this, I think this was definitely our segment 10 of the night. But we did get another little page in the ongoing Naomi versus Sonya Deville saga. Sonya Deville said something to the effect of, while when she's wearing her suit, when she's a WWE official, you can't lay a hands on me, but when I'm wearing, ring gear, that's a different story.
Hair up, square
Hair
up.
up or put your hair up or square up. We've heard it all before.
Yeah. So eventually, maybe that'll be your day one match, Naomi, Sonya.
Hopefully, the fans and it's hard to gauge because some of these things happen backstage where you can just kind of get the fan reaction a little bit, But the fans, yeah. I think they want it.
Yeah, Naomi, she's got a die-hard following. I think a lot of kids like her. Anytime she comes out, that glow.
Because it's so fun, you get to dance, and we all wanted those shoes that when you walked, every step you took, it had a little red LED. We all wanted a pair of those shoes.
My brother had one once.
What a cool guy!
And then he stepped in a bunch of mud and ruined them.
Did they still light up, or were they just dirty?
Well, eventually they stop lighting up anyways.
Yeah, eventually when they run out of a little battery. Can you replace the battery? Probably not, right?
Well, you probably just grow out of the shoes.
That's a good point. It's not like they're being made for adults, and then adults are like, "This is bullshit. I'm gonna have to replace the battery in my."
I mean, I'm sure adults can.
I'm sure they make them in some.
Naomi's got them, so.
That's a good point. They may make them in some pretty large sizes, for all we know.
Yeah. But that was Smackdown. Yeah, a lot of get out there.
A lot of get out there, which felt weird. But yeah, I think that's what it is. When there's too much time before a pay-per-view, everyone's just like, Charlotte, get out the pie. Someone go to Kraft and grab a pie. I've got an idea.
Yeah, it's not even a pie. It's just like shaving cream on a pie plate.
Yeah, it's not even a banana cream pie. It's just that that thing.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Way to go, Smackdown. Folks, let's move on. Same day, different brand. How's that sound? Let's talk. Let's get into some AW Rampage.
Rampage. Rampage. Rampage. Rampage. Rampage. Rampage.
It's the Rampage.
Winter is coming.
World Tour. Sorry.
What were you saying? Rampage World Tour?
Yeah, that's just an old video game.
Of course, starring The Rock. I've seen it.
The movie based on the game, yeah. Those building destroyers. Yes, winter is coming. Get your boots out, get your gloves, get your hat. Unless you live in Jacksonville, then you're probably fine.
Well, I was going to say, currently we're in Duluth, Georgia, so I can't imagine there's anything remotely close to snow down there. But winter is coming, and we kick off the show with a championship match that we were told we were going to get this. Sammy Guevara taking on Tony Nese. Either recent signee, recent releasee. It's honestly too hard to remember who got released when. So
yeah. But, he's been doing a couple things on Dark, but this is his TV debut here in All Elite Wrestling. And, he was a big part of the Cruiserweight division in WWE, so he's lots of high-flying moves. He can hang with Sammy there. He hits a nice 450 splash, but Sammy fights back, ends up hitting his GTH to get the win, retain the title.
Now, you think it stands for Go to Hell?
I guess so.
Or go to heck, go to heaven.
Either way, because it's almost like it's obviously because it's so similar to the go to sleep.
Yeah,
so
I just wonder what the H stands for.
I'm guessing hell.
Hell, heaven, heck, something like that.
Havana.
Go to Havana. Tony Nese. So I guess Tony Nese is one of these new All Elite guys, I guess. But also, it seems like a lot of these, some of these All Elite wrestlers we're seeing come out, they're getting this time on Rampage, probably Dark or something like that. But they're also working other gigs. They're doing their own thing.
Yeah, a lot of these guys.
Bobby Fish was doing AAA on the weekend.
Hey,
he was in the championship match for that vacant for Kenny Omega's old championship there. He was right there. He was in it.
Who won it?
It was El Hijo del Vikingo. I believe. Yeah.
Well, like we said, Sammy retains. But, so far, this title reign hasn't stood out too much for me compared to
Yeah, there was a series of time where it sort of seems, at least the past two, if I think, Miro's, he gave a lot of people opportunities but went over it every time. And then the Darby Allin one, that was the exciting one. That was he's putting on a banger every week, not just he's taking on all comers, but he's doing some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, either way, still lots of, Sammy Guevara will always have a good match. So.
Of course.
But then we get Jade Cargill taking on the kick demon Janai Kai. No relation to Dakota, I don't believe. But, she's basically just here to get destroyed by Cargill. Hits her with the Jaded, gets the easy win. Keeps beating her down after the match, so Thunder Rosa runs off or chases her off.
Yeah, Thunder Rosa was on commentary for this thing, because I think they're meeting up with each other in the next round of the TBS tournament.
Yeah, the semifinals between the two of them.
Yeah, I think we're still like we're still like a month away, I think, from the actual move.
Yeah, so I think they'll spread the next two matches out, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go to the main event of this episode. FTR taking on Rey Fenix and Pac stepping in for Penta, I guess. Or
yeah,
no,
Penta is
Pac.
here. I guess Rey Fenix is probably injured again, because it seems like he's injured.
Because he's crazy. He just jumps and flips.
Yeah, once every 3 months, he does something outlandish, and then he pays for it.
Yeah, so Penta and Pac teaming up, and Pac, he's been sporting this eye patch now because the black mist from Malachi Black. And I like this idea going around that, underneath the eye patch, his face is starting to turn like Malachi. He's becoming corrupt.
Like there was something in the mist.
Yeah, so
something more than just
turning black.
Yeah.
The power of the essence of evil itself is in that mist.
Oh, amen.
So, anyways, doesn't stop. He's still got great vision. Hot tag match here. Lots of time. And Pac showing some, he's small, but he's got some, look at those abs. He's a strong man. He can just toss people around at times.
Oh, not only that, there's some athletic, so a lot of beef, athletic beef here in the ring.
Athletic beef, exactly.
Athletic beef. Never seen it
stallions. So everyone's getting some moments to shine. Dax hits Pac with a big tiger driver. But then Pac fights back. He beats down Harwood, who starts faking an injury, so the ref checks up on him. Then Malachi Black runs out and sprays Pac's good eye from point-blank range with this mist. So he's fucked now. Both eyes are done. Dax quickly grabs him, rolls him up for the 3 to steal the win. But like I said, I hope now Pac, I hope he just becomes evil. I hope this just consumes him. We see him next week, and he's all just starting to look like Malachi with the black and white face paint and shit. Be kind of cool.
Oh, that'd be fun. He's secretly like recruiting people through nanobots.
Yeah, if he sprays you, it's like, yeah, he becomes almost like a vampire type thing.
Something like
but
that. Something like that.
Yeah, something. But either way, it was a fun match. Even more insult after FTR. They beat up Penta, take his mask off, start wearing it themselves like a bunch of asses. And then Malachi gets down and sticks his thumbs right in Pac's eye socket, just trying to rip it right out of his head.
At the good eye.
The good eye. He's got blood on his thumb after from the.
He drew blood.
Yeah. So. Yeah, eye for eye match.
An eye for an eye match. We got one not too long ago, right? We've had one in AEW already, I think.
Really? I know we had the WWE.
Yeah, remember when Inner Circle took out Moxley, and then Moxley took out Ortiz, I think?
But I don't think an eyeball was on the line.
Oh, yeah, it's not like an eyeball, but it was like a, hey, you hurt my eye.
Yeah, you hurt my eye, I hurt yours.
I hurt your eye, now let's have a match for it. But the one with Seth and Ray, that was also not really like an eye for an eye. It was more like, I took your eye, now here's your chance to take my eye.
Yeah, and I was disappointed.
No, either way, all of these eye for an eye matches have been disappointing. So
Yeah.
hopefully one of these.
Maybe I don't want it then.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I just have a normal match, please? Like without any eye steps. And we've already gotten the Moxley fake my eye was okay this whole time gimmick too. So like Pac's really got to be into this eye thing. Wow, we're doing a lot of eye bits.
Yeah.
Weird, eh? I don't know.
But that was that. Shall we take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break before the second half of the show. Of course, we've got Monday Night Raw. Of course, we've got the whole fallout from the big War Games match. And you're definitely not going to want to miss it because we have to crown a Tweet of the Week champion also. So I would say that you should stick around.
That is what I say as well.
Let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah.
Back here for the second part of the podcast here, folks. Meltzer, I got nothing. I don't know, I just thought I'd open with that. 5.5 for Kenny and Adam Hangman Page at Full Gear. 5.5.
Well, we've all talked about it. So he gave that Jungle Boy Christian match tag team thing, he gave that 5 stars.
That was a 5er also.
5 stars. So you're saying in the last 10 years, not one WWE match has been better than that? That's all I'm saying.
Find it hard to believe. I find it hard to believe.
I find it very. I could name you 50, 60, 70, 80,
Wow.
90.
I mean, I feel like I could name you 4 Bryan Danielson matches alone.
Alone.
That
on
whole,
Smackdown,
that whole
not even
last
on
run, the last 6 months of Bryan Danielson's career in WWE, I feel like he put on at least 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, so that's all I'll say about Mr. Meltzer, Mr. 5 Star.
That's not Mr. 5-star. Let's keep going. Let's keep going through the show, shall we? Because let's get into a show. Last week, Liv Morgan won the opportunity to get a big championship match this week, taking on Becky Lynch. So let's get ourselves right on to some Monday Night Raw.
Let's get raw. Let's get raw.
Yeah, you know, Vince, he saw NXT having some cage matches the night before, so he said, God damn it, give me half of that for Monday Night Raw.
Give me half
And
of a
that's-
cage.
Yeah, so we got one cage, steel cage match, traditional. Big E taking on Kevin Owens just for, not for the title. That's going to happen at day one, but this is just for, you know, because Big E's been getting fucked around a bit lately. He's sick of it.
And Kevin Owens is good in cage matches, so it's a kind of a win-win for everybody here.
Yeah, so pretty standard cage affair, you know, just throwing each other into the wall. Not as crazy as the War Game stuff, but
Of course not.
Yeah, Owens hits a nice sunset bomb, and at one point they're crawling towards the open cage door when Rollins shows up and just slams it on Big E's head, and the match continues. Both men going for the pin, getting some near falls. They try to escape the cage. At one point, they both climb up to the top rope. Big E lifts up Owens, hits a huge big ending off the top rope. Kind of sketchy. Almost landed Owens hard on his head.
Big, well, that was a little bit, but hey, he's a big boy. He can take it.
No, it looked good. I mean, they made it, but rather than make the pin, Big E just crawls out the open cage door, choosing the lame way to win, and just stands up. And, yeah, he won.
A smart way to win, really.
I guess
I mean,
he could have just made the pin.
Yeah, that's the heel way to make that happen, right? But yeah, some weird
Yeah.
booking, I guess. We saw Kevin Owens in a cage match. It was like on Boxing Day last year. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's sort of making a name for himself in the non-pay-per-view cage matches.
Yeah, I mean, you can put him in any match. He'll do it.
And he's the rich man's Joe Gacy.
Very much so. And then afterwards, though, Rollins jumps him, but I think Bobby Lashley shows up. He spears Big E, so he's still sniffing around.
He's still mad.
Yeah, he still wants that title. Then we get Queen Zelina taking on Nikki Ash for no real reason, but Nikki misses a crossbody. Zelina hits the code red to get another win for that hot streak of hers.
Yeah, we should get rid of that costume of hers. And I say costume because it's a costume. It's not an outfit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need this women's tag division to emerge. Variety in the division, things like that. Because next week we're going to have Carmella, Rhea Ripley, right?
Probably.
Yeah. We need, and maybe some kind of outside interference so Carmella can get the win and Ripley can look strong.
Well, on the men's side of the tag division, we're having our inaugural RK Bronament. Of course, a tag tournament hosted by RK Bro to determine some number one contenders. Riddle, he convinces Randy to wear this WWE blazer so they can call the match at ringside.
Looked good. If you're going to sit ringside and call a match, you got to wear a blazer. Come on, Randy. Come on.
Yeah, hey, he did it. So we get the first match of the tournament, AJ and Omos taking on Street Profits. So it was good. I feel like we've seen it lately, but eventually AJ, he's looking to hit the phenomenal forearm, but when he leaps onto the ropes, Omos decides to tag himself in unexpectedly. So AJ kind of looks over like, what? There's a little tension there, and Dawkins yanks AJ down, and Omos goes after him, but Omos is now the legal man. He's outside the ring for too long, gets counted out. So he loses. Street Profits advance to the finals.
Wow. Omos has been doing well thus far.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a loss. He didn't get pinned. He didn't even get knocked down, so not a big deal. But afterwards, Omos, he's just kind of pissed at AJ, just walks off by himself. So the inevitable breakup is looming.
And you know that whenever this breakup happens, whenever it does, AJ Styles will immediately be put into a title picture. I think I saw some kind of thing where it's like AJ Styles has been a champion for like 82% of his time in WWE. Like a champion of one championship or another.
Yeah. Some kind of some
insane stat like that where you're like, yeah, obviously he's going to be either a champion or adjacent to a champion.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens to AJ Styles, he'll go out on his back to Omos. He'll come back 20 minutes later and fucking beat, I don't know, Damian Priest maybe. Who knows?
Or, go babyface. It's been a while.
Oh, babyface AJ is the best.
Yeah. We can go back to that side. Kids will buy those gloves like they're Pokemon cards.
Oh, all those kids have the gloves.
But speaking of Damian Priest, he comes out for another U.S. title open challenge, which is answered by Robert Roode. So, doesn't stand much of a chance, but he's got Ziggler, his wild card on the outside, just causing shit. So, Roode does okay. A couple near falls, goes for the glorious DDT, but Priest avoids it, then hits the Reckoning to get the win, retain the belt.
And he won without doing that,
crazy eyes?
Possessed thing. Possessed bit. Yeah, because and this guy's, and we've been saying this, we say this every single fucking week. This guy never loses, but we haven't not pulled the trigger on him yet because he's the champion. He's the U.S. champ. He's clearly a top priority. And these U.S. Open challenges are kind of fun. They let him able to work with a lot of talent until eventually he becomes a WWE champion. I don't know. The goal at this point feels like he wins all the time, always. And that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah, it feels like there's no real contender for his title until someone just kind of shows up out of nowhere and takes it.
Exactly, right? I mean, even that loss at Survivor Series to Shinsuke Nakamura, that was a DQ. Like, this guy just doesn't lose.
Yeah, pretty much. Up next, we had Bianca Belair taking on Doudrop. Doudrop, one of the few women in the company who could match Belair's strength. But, we're talking about Bianca Belair here. She can do it all. So, she warms up. She hits Doudrop with a big spine buster. That pops the crowd. But Doudrop fights back, hits a nice Vader bomb, gets herself a 2 count. They fight their way into the corner. And then the moment we've all been waiting for, Bianca Belair. She fucking hoists Doudrop. She gets her up for the KOD. She's got her lifted. But Doudrop rolls off and out of the ring. She walks away, says, no, I'm not taking that. That's a WrestleMania moment. So she takes the count out loss. But I think she proved she can hit it. She had her lifted up there. That was tremendous strength.
Well, and I'm sure it took Hulk, a few times before he could actually make it happen.
But look at the size of Hulk's biceps compared to Bianca's.
26-inch pythons, brother.
Yeah, but that was great. Even though lame finish count out, but just seeing that tease was like, oh my god.
Well, and it was a tease after a 13.5-minute match. Like, that's what we don't want 3 or 4 minutes. This could have so easily been a 3 or 4 minute thing, and it wasn't.
Yeah, and Doudrop, she showed that she can go, and the count out loss didn't even bother me that much because it was just about the
yeah, it's about the actual the skills, the in-ring ability.
There you go. And then once again, Austin Theory just kind of spends the show backstage with Vince. But these segments don't really do anything for me. Or maybe even for Austin. I don't think it's really doing much for him.
Yeah, you just got to sit there with that goofy fucking smile on his face.
Yeah, Vince just tears into you. I don't know.
I don't get it.
Miz TV brings out his guest Edge. They just kind of cut promos on each other. And eventually we get down to booking them for day one. So that's settled.
Ms. Edge. That's great. Yeah.
Maurice and Beth Phoenix, they might show up as well.
Yeah, I'm sure they could be in the other's corner. This is our good segment, or this is our good promos feud. Every feud, each feud going into a big show like day one has to be different in its own way. You need the one... the high flyers, they go do their thing, and then the brawlers, they do their thing. But then you have the guys who the promos leading up to the match were better than the match. This could be it. You need a different match. You need to book these things. These promos are going to be sweet. We're going to have a month straight of great promos.
Yeah, and it really is. The match itself, the win doesn't really mean much to either man.
To neither person.
So, it'll just be one of those. They might, who knows? They still have time to add a stip, get some weapons, who knows? Whatever they want.
They could.
But let's go on. We got this RK Bronament, the Mysterio family taking on the Alpha Academy. Chad Gable, anytime you let him go, he just looks great in there. Those amateur wrestling moves. He's working over Dominic, goes for the moonsault, but Dom avoids it, rolls him up, gets a 3 count. So, huge win. Mysterio family back on track.
Back on track, finally. When Dom still has a long way to go on the mic, but he's improved. So there you go.
Yeah, he's fine. They'll face the Street Profits next week in the finals.
Did they show us some kind of bracket at all?
They did.
Oh, okay. I missed it. I missed it.
Yeah, no, they had the graphics, they had the brackets, the arcade Bronament. Even had their own font and everything. But Finn Balor takes on T-Bar, and we saw T-Bar a few weeks ago. He was looking more like Dijakovic, and same thing here. He gets some moves in early on, but Finn just takes over and knocks him off the top rope, hits a coup de grace to get the win.
Yeah, when are we just gonna... Yeah, once a time, there was a man named Dominic Dijakovic.
Yeah, and Vince hated that name.
And seeing Dijakovic taking on Finn Balor, that sounded like... If you were to ask us that question last year, or pre-Retribution, rather, we'd been like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Let's go to the main event that we've been promised, this Raw Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan, the biggest match of her career, main eventing the show. over a steel cage match. So, and I could see the nerves on her. She coming out, she was like breathing heavy. You could see she was holding back tears.
And I also feel like
during
this
her
was
introduction.
built up too, like, you know, with the fans and the promos. Like, it's like the story was, this has been a long time coming. You know, it was almost
They
like they
showed,
weren't
like,
helping
a
her.
video.
Yeah, even the
They
fucking
showed, like,
package.
a life story.
The
Yeah,
package.
It was great.
Yeah.
So this was a big moment, and it had me believing, like, is she going to win the title? Is that why she's so emotional right now? So let's see. You know, the main event, they got a good amount of time here. Liv showing lots of fire, just standing toe-to-toe with the man. She hit an awesome suicide dive at one point, and I noticed she dived over the second rope instead of under it. So it was even more suicidal.
Good. Yeah. Yes, good.
So she takes out Becky. Crowd's hot. They're chanting for Liv. But then she starts taking her licks, just bumping real hard for Becky. She's great at that. Liv pulls out a couple submissions, though. Becky grabs her, goes for the manhandle slam. Liv counters into a roll-up, but then Becky counters that into a pin of her own. And once again, she grabs the ropes for illegal leverage. The ref doesn't see it. Becky gets the 3, and she wins the match.
Wins the match. That leverage at the last second there, holding on to it.
Yeah. Retains the belt, and then it was funny, right after they cut to a very angry little girl in the crowd. I guess she wanted Liv to win. She just had this big snarl on her face. Like, damn you, Becky.
Well, I mean, yeah, big snarl on her face. You might call her, you know, snarly face. I like to call her Tweet of the Week champion.
Whoa!
It's the Tweet of the Week. It's the Tweet of the Week. We'll call them co-Tweet of the Week champions. That is right. So right after this match, Mike, yeah, it was a photo of this girl. She looked displeased, to say the least, and of course some fans captured it, sent a lot of photos to Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan responded by saying, "We are all Liv Girl right now." So Liv Girl, you might be living on. Liv Morgan,
Hey.
Tweet of the Week champion. It's all you, girl. It's all you.
I love it. Yeah, you know, I would have been happy with the upset win for Liv Morgan, but still a good match. You know, maybe a test run. They're saying, will the crowd take to her in a top babyface role? And I think they did. So.
Well, and it's funny. It's funny the way when somebody who's been waiting for this championship opportunity for a long time, the emotional impact versus. We see a lot of open championships for belts all the time. Mm-hmm. You know, we see a lot. I mean, we just saw Tony Nese and Sammy Guevara take each other on. I remember Lance Archer randomly getting an opportunity to take on John Moxley for the championship, right? We see a lot of, oh, this is actually for the title. Oh, shit, didn't know that. But there is something about, you know, the special build of somebody who's truly never gotten the opportunity. It's definitely easier when you're a babyface. And you get that opportunity finally because you get to play on, you know, the whole world keeping you down.
Yeah, no, it definitely felt like a big moment and probably the best match of her career, singles-wise. And she's come a long way, and I think she is ready to win that title sometime soon.
Yeah, the Riot Squad has come a long way. You gotta say.
Sarah Logan's somewhere.
She's hunting with her. She's got a kid. Her thing now is it's like hunting mother attire, so you can like have a baby strapped to you while you're using a crossbow. I shit you not. I
just picture them like they look like the Flintstones, just wandering.
They
around.
live, yeah, like they start their car with like with their feet. Yeah. It might be very similar. You're right.
And he's like little Bam Bam Pebbles just walking around in like rabbit pelt fur. But yeah, that was Monday Night Raw, and yeah, some fun matches in there.
It was a good episode. It really was a good episode. Yeah, congratulations to Liv Morgan. There is victory in defeat. We say that all the time here on the Shoot Brothers, and this was no exception.
Yeah, and I mean Becky will need an opponent for day one, so who knows? Maybe you'll get a rematch.
I'm hoping Asuka.
We haven't seen Asuka in a while, and
I haven't seen Asuka in
there's
a
always the Royal Rumble.
while.
There's also two other ladies we haven't seen in a while.
Who's that?
Lacey Evans and Bailey. But Royal Rumble season is coming up, so
Of course, yeah. I think Bailey had an ACL injury, didn't she?
yeah.
Something a little more
Yeah.
serious. And Lacey Evans, I'm sure, gave birth maybe a month, maybe 2 ago. So, yeah, they'll filter back into the equation. Yeah, no problem.
Who knows? And yeah, Asuka had that shoulder, arm, something.
It was something like
Something
that.
got
yeah.
fixed. So
Something
who
got
knows?
fixed. Got fucked and then got fixed.
Yeah.
Let's that was a great episode of Monday Night Raw. Let's move across to our final show of the week, coming in the hot off the heels of War Games. We have some NXT.
NXT, what does it mean? I don't know, but it's some good wrestling. So NXT, watch and see. Let it tap out a count out of 1, 2, 3.
We're in the wake. We are in the wake as the multicolored brand tries to build momentum towards New Year's Evil. We're getting it, so it's really not too far away. 3 more weeks until another set of major, matches potentially.
Yeah. And you know what? We've got this nice streak of cage matches going on. We had Sunday, we had Monday, we had the steel cage match on Raw, and it's Tuesday. Let's have another steel cage match. So that's how they kick off the show. Von Wagner versus Kyle O'Reilly, steel cage match. Could this be Kyle's last match in NXT? Who knows?
Well, we don't know. We don't know. He was holding up that Undisputed Era sign.
He was. So, anyways, grudge match. Wagner, full heel now. Crowd's just chanting, "You suck" at him, but he's in control for most of the match, just wearing down Kyle, just throwing him into the cage. O'Reilly, he hits his top rope knee drop. That's usually his finishing move, but Wagner kicks out of that. Then he hits a low blow. All legal. And that allows him to hit his double underhook slam. Don't know what he calls it yet, but gets him the big win. Von Wagner.
Yeah, no name for it yet. But yeah, physical match. Both guys. I guess you had to try to sell this it was a bit of a rush story, I guess, of like this hatred.
Yeah. Yeah, and then to just throw it in a steel cage. It's like, okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and making this match have to be pinfall or submission. Really, that's what you're doing. Kind of focusing, letting the two, forcing the two to focus on that,
Yeah. Yeah. So Wagner got the big win, and then afterwards he picks Kyle up, hangs him upside down in the corner, and then just starts slamming the cage on him. So just vicious, this Mr. Wagner.
Yeah, I feel like that post-match attack could have been better. If Kyle O'Reilly, if he's leaving and he's putting over he's putting over Von Wagner. I feel like Von Wagner should have been one doing the damage, not the cage doing the damage. If that makes any sort of nitpicky sense, but we've seen this before. No, when guys go out, you go out on your back. Is that the way?
Yeah.
Did Stone Cold lose his last match? Undertaker lost his last in-ring match, I think. Or no, if you don't, I don't count Saudi. So
I mean,
I count him losing to Roman at WrestleMania 33, and then the graveyard match. That's my Undertaker continuity.
Yeah, if we could. But yeah, I mean, we don't know. We don't know what the future holds for Kyle. We'll see.
Yeah, we really don't.
Just like a lot of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But we do know who the future of this brand seems to be. Braun Breaker comes out, just cutting a fired up promo. He shows some respect to Team Black and Gold. He says, yeah, you built the foundation for NXT, but Tommaso Ciampa, you beat me at Halloween Havoc. I pinned you at War Games, so let's do this one more time for the title. But then the Diamond Mine interrupt. And Malcolm Bivens says, nah, Roddy, he's got his sights set on you, so how about you fight us first? And Breaker just says, all right, see you next week.
Okay.
Yeah, who knows if it'll be for the Cruiserweight title.
Yeah, probably not. Unless
Probably
they're
not.
trying to find a way to get rid of it.
I mean, maybe he can just win it and be like, I don't.
Yeah,
need
like
this.
and kind of trash it, and then that's it.
Yeah. 'Cause I mean, I think Goldberg, he was the U.S. champ before he had his world title, and then he just got rid of the U.S. title. It's like, I don't need this.
Really? Like back on WCW.
Yeah, during the original streak, he won the U.S. title on the way to the world title. And then by the time he had the world title, he was too big for the other one. So,
What do you know?
Briggs and Jensen take on the Creed brothers. It was okay. Grizzled young vets, they're at ringside fucking with Briggs and Jensen, but it backfires. Jensen rolls up Creed, gets a 3 count.
And these the Briggs and Jensen, where they are, we got they were one of the vignettes that we got on the War Games day, where it seemed like their thing is like beanbag toss. That's like their gimmick, I guess. Or they're like good American boys.
Cornhole?
Yeah, they're playing cornhole. They're like, I like fresh beer and kicking ass.
Yeah.
So they're there. Odd, the Creed brothers got a loss.
Yeah. That's kind of, I'm guessing their first loss, maybe.
Possibly, yeah. I wonder.
The new Duke Hudson comes out wearing this awful blonde wig. Cameron Grimes comes out, so Hudson straps on this wrestling headgear to keep the wig on, and Grimes just says, "Come on, man, you're gonna try to deny that I shaved you bald? Let's fight one more time, no holds bar." But Hudson runs off. We don't get to see the bald head.
It doesn't happen.
Nope. But what does happen, the return. We saw him under the ring at War Games, but Dexter Lumis is finally back after only 3 weeks, but it feels like 3 years for Indy Hartwell.
Yeah, it feels like a fucking lifetime. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so Dexter's taking on Carmelo Hayes, trying to get some vengeance for that injury, but he looked fine. Match was okay. Crowd was cheering for him, but he gets Carmelo locked in the silence, but then Trick Williams just jumps in, nails him, causes the disqualification.
Yeah, sometimes I guess it's that easy, I guess. Sometimes.
I guess. Yeah. So for the past few weeks, they've been doing these like road trip segments with MSK or something.
Yes,
They're
this
just-
was another vignette that we got during War Games. They're like going on a road trip to find like the tag team shaman.
Yeah. So this week they finally find the shaman, and it is Riddle. Because I think MSK. This whole thing. I think there's a lot of like marijuana jokes lightly tossed
The
in.
majority of this thing was weed humor.
Yeah, so it's,
but written by somebody whose knowledge of weed is Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. Like it was
Pretty
that
much.
kind of. It was literally that. It was literally that.
yeah. But I will say, Riddle looked stoned, and he probably was.
And MSK looked stoned, and they probably were. You know, baby,
Probably
it's
were.
all about that. Like we are literally one segment away from some kind of thing where, like, they open up a door, and it's all smoky in there. Like we're one step away from that exact segment.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I've heard that MSK stands for marijuana smoking kids, but I'm sure they'll never brand them as that.
Really, I
Maybe
didn't know
just their
that.
way
I
is
do
like-
like that though.
Yeah. This
Well,
is
hey,
their
when
way of
you're
kind
when
of
you're an
acknowledging
athlete
it.
who subjects your body to that kind of pain and torment, I believe that you should be able to relax yourself in the quality of your own home.
Oh yeah.
I'm not
everyone
saying
should.
decriminalize meth. I'm saying,
No, here in our great country, we're already on that. We're already on the page of
hell
present
yeah,
times.
baby. Hell yeah. You think all the Maple Leafs right now? I know for a fact they're all doing cocaine.
So,
Wait, what did I say?
Valentina Flores and Yulisa Leon taking on Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. So you know what's going to happen here. But I do, like we said, Yulisa Leon. This is her third week in a row after I thought one hit wonder.
And what thing I love about this, Mike, is that you buried her immediately. You're like, Yulisa Leon, probably never see her again. Like that was kind of the way you framed this person, and it just backfired so much. That's how.
Well,
sometimes I know. That's how I know Vince is listening. You know.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, she still got jobbed out here. Doesn't really get too much moves in, but sometimes that's what you need. Little couple practice dummies to toss around. So JC Jane hits this big discus, big boot to get the win. Toxic Attraction cut a promo after. Cora Jade, Raquel come out, chase him off. So
Yeah,
those are kind of your
a little something, but yeah, it feels like Toxic Attraction. We're past the squash part now. We're past it.
Yeah, we can. Maybe they can defend against Cora and Raquel, the tag titles.
Yeah.
Some more vignettes for Tiffany Stratton.
Of course, the car, purse, we get it.
Yes, but that's not all. We've revealed she's not all talk because she is legitimate Team USA Olympic gymnastics.
Oh, yes.
Something.
Yeah, we do get that. She is a former kind of Olympic level athlete.
So, hey, I want to see. She could probably do some 630 splash.
I'm sure she could.
Zion Quinn takes on Santos Escobar. And Elektra Lopez still just outside, just seductively looking at Zion. This whole thing. I don't even know what happened in this match because whatever feed I was watching just kind of went to commercial, came back, and we were on the next segment. So apparently Escobar won.
No, I saw the. Yeah, I didn't cut out or anything, but okay.
Yeah, that's all. I know Escobar won though. That's what I read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, so far I gotta say Zion Quinn is out of all these young stars who were given a little spot here, Quinn, Gacy. Even, a couple of the guys who we had in the War Games match, like D'Angelo, right? Zion's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Compared to those other guys.
Kinda...
Oh, yeah, but there was another fucking vignette. Oh, Jesus Christ. NXT is going to be a series of vignettes these days, from here on out. They had a Boa thing that was what he explained. He explained that he is now Tian Sha, the spirit. So we've completely abandoned all the previous kind of build. That woman who took Raquel Gonzalez out, forget that happened.
Yeah, Mei Ying.
Gone. Forget about Mei Ying. It's now just Boa, who is the spirit, I think, of Mei Ying, Tian Sha. Just so you know. Just for continuity's sake, I just wanted you to be sure.
Well, we're still waiting for Xia Li to debut. They just keep showing more chapters of this anime, this manga.
Jesus Christ.
But let's go to the closing segment, because we didn't mention it, but after War Games went off air, Johnny Gargano just kind of talked to the crowd, and he was like, well, tune in Tuesday, guys. I'll let you know what's going to happen. So that's what he's here to do. He comes out to address his status with NXT, his future. Tons of Johnny wrestling chants. Thank you, Johnny. And Johnny's like, I got as much time as I want. And they're chanting, please don't go. And he just reflects on his 6 years here in NXT, a place he was told that he would never even be in back in 2015. But William Regal brought him in, took a chance. You guys chanted Johnny Wrestling until they had no choice but to give him a job. And there's a reason he's been here for so long, because he truly loves this place, believes in it, and just starts thanking everyone behind the scenes, Hunter, Sean, Matt Bloom, everyone there. And he just kind of wraps it up, says, I know change can be scary, but sometimes it needs to happen. And if there's one message I want to leave you, you will never fail if you bet on yourself. I don't know what my immediate future holds. It's up in the air. But I do know that in February, I start the most important job of my life, because I'm going to be a dad. And then the crowd chants up, starts chanting, Daddy Wrestling, right on the spot. So Johnny finishes things, and then Grayson Waller appears out of nowhere, hits him from behind with a chair. Then he wraps the chair around his neck and slams him right into the steel steps. And Johnny just dove into these things. Great bump there. Because that's going to take him out. I mean, at least until February, and maybe forever from NXT. And then for good measure, he powerbombs him through an announce table as well.
Was that it? Could that have been it?
I don't know. I mean, they definitely...
I feel like that was it.
Yeah, I think so too. He kind of said it.
I feel like that was
And
it.
I think after the show, they even did like a little curtain call. I think Candace came out and they like took a bow. I think Ciampa came
was
out.
there. Kyle O'Reilly was there.
Yeah,
Johnny Gargano was crying to the level that I could only imagine you would cry at if you spent half a fucking decade in a company, did everything you ever could, was the best that there could be, and now are leaving that company. Like, it was that level of tears. And, you know, so judging, I'm no psychoanalyst. I'm not one of those, you know those videos on YouTube that are like real police investigator breaks down scenes in movies, you know, that kind of, you know, those kind of. I'm not about to break down a scene from Netflix's Mindhunter. Watch seasons 1 and 2 now. I'm not going to break down one of those scenes, but I would say my shoot meter is full. It's so steady right now. It's not flying in any direction. It is steady. Johnny Gargano's gone. That was it.
Yeah, I think he's gone, but I also think he is that we won't see him till after February, like he said.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it takes take 3 months off. You know, you got to do this thing now. You know, it really doesn't matter. We're not in any rush. Although,
you know, by the time Double or Nothing season rolls around,
I was going to say I did hear that Revolution is in March this year.
Or Revolution.
Or in 2022. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
One or the other.
I don't know. But yeah, that was it. That was it for Johnny Wrestling. Going out on his back, just like we were talking about. Him and Kyle O'Reilly both.
Johnny NXT. But yeah, that was it.
Did Adam Cole get a kind of like a curtain call send off, talk to the crowd thing?
I remember he lost to Kyle O'Reilly. I don't know if anything happened.
Yeah, I don't remember if there was like a. I should look into that because I would feel like, you know, the two of them, you know, the Mount Rushmore of NXT superstars. Gargano and Adam Cole are, you know, the fucking Lincoln and Washington right there.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Ciampa is Teddy Roosevelt. And who's the fourth guy on Rushmore? Jefferson. Who would Jefferson be? It's a hard one. That's weird. Those three guys so immediately stand out as the NXT Rushmore, but that fourth, filling in a fourth, is almost like, do you go a step further back and like an Aleister Black, a Shinsuke, Samoa Joe?
Yeah, guys like that.
You know, like, do you go a step? Do you go to kind of like a time of your?
I mean, I'd even go put a woman on the mountain, Sasha Bailey, one of those.
Yeah, or you'd have to put Asuka.
Or Asuka.
She was
she had the 500-day reign.
The historic reign there, or is it just Walter and we go home? It could be either way. But yeah, you're right. That was Johnny Wrestling's last match in NXT, and that was the entire NXT show.
That was it. That was our wrestling week.
Let's finish off our show the way that we always do, because we need to bring you a Wrestler of the Week.
It's the Wrestler of the Week. Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week.
Big week, War Games, Johnny Wrestling going home. But just watching you cry, Johnny Wrestling, that's not enough for me to give you Wrestler of the Week. I've given you Wrestler of the Week before for other accomplishments. I think this week I'm going to have to give it to Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan.
Just, you get that big chance. That's great. That's fantastic. Yeah. You get that main event of Monday Night Raw. Ruby Riott can't say she main evented Monday Night Raw. Maybe she could. Sarah Logan probably. Sarah Logan was second. Sarah Logan was second in that first Rumble though. She was the fucking. It was her and Whatever. Either way. Yeah, she came down to that final 2. It was actually kind of close.
Wow.
But either way, I'm gonna say Liv Morgan, wrestler of the week. Great job, Becky. You got to play fair, kid, or else you're gonna drop that title soon.
Yeah, and hey, that could be fun. But yeah, I'll keep it to the woman's side of things. I'm just gonna give it to Cora Jade. She went out there, she gave it her all, she had some fun moments, and really won me and the crowd over.
Youngest performer in NXT and in a War Games on the roster right now.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, she's still green, still a little bit, but she's got lots of room to grow.
Lots of room to grow. Congratulations to everyone, to Tweet League champions, and to folks at home. Thanks for listening. Remember, you can rate, like, subscribe. The show is everywhere. We're coming out a day early today, so I guess next show will actually be kicking off with some fucking Dynamite, which is fun. Give all that energy to a big episode of Dynamite. Go Leafs, go Raps, go. I guess you got to say the Raptors game going on right now, and that's about all we got. Mike, anything else you got to say to the kids at home?
No, not yet. Stay good for Santa Claus.
Stay good for Santa Claus. Mike, you take care of yourself.
All right. See you next week.
Shoot.